Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This is Elise here of Plan with Elise, and if you are new to my goal videos, especially a quarterly goal video, sit down, grab something yummy to drink because it's probably going to be a long time. This is going to be a long video. Hello October. We are finished somehow with quarter three, which is crazy that we are already in October. I don't know where this year went. Well, let me back up. Let's talk first about my quarter three goals now that we are finished with my quarter three goals. Or now that we are finished with quarter three. I've balanced out my finances after moving. So let's recap a little bit. Quarter three started July 1st. I closed on my house June 16th. So when I set these goals, this was like a week and a half after moving, maybe 2 weeks. Well, I moved June 22nd. So this was just about a week after moving. And it was like, okay, what are the next 3 months in this house as a homeowner going to look like? So finances were balanced out. I never had a housewarming party, but I've had probably everyone in my life, most people in my life, come see the house. There's a couple friends who haven't seen it, but like all of my relatives who will come to see it, who don't live far away, have all come. They've all been amazing. I think they were all here by like July, August. Everyone came to see the house like individually, which was nice because I really got to have one-on-one time with my family. Cousins, aunts and uncles, everything like that. Weekly meal prep. I was kind of on and off with. It's not necessary, like have a housewarming party is something very concrete, right? I either did or I didn't. Weekly meal prep. Yes, I either did or I didn't, but in a quarter, there's 12, 13 weeks to, um, to say yes or no to. So it kind of happened on and off. But getting better now. I'm more consistent with it now. Reach 100 rides on Peloton. I did that. I did finish 75 books read, which was really only because in August I read a ton of books. Otherwise, I never would have reached that goal. I think I'm at 78 or 79 right now. I have a revenue goal for the year. And if I break that up into quarters, I did pass it for quarter three. So I'm on track to reach my goal for quarter four. I really, really hope that I reach this annual goal. So thank you for your support, for watching ads, for joining my Patreon, for clicking my affiliate link. All those little things help. Literally every dollar adds up. So thank you. Home. My office, I'll get to this soon, but I've kind of reorganized my office yet again. Living room, I got some artwork, or living room and dining room is kind of a combination area, but I got artwork. I hung things. I'm really happy with these rooms right now. All that's left is getting a lighting fixture for my dining room, which I don't want to rush because it's not that easy to like put up. My foyer, I've not figured out yet because I haven't decided on what the need for it is. Not what the need for, like what my goal for that space is. So I'm not rushing it. A cleaning schedule I've been really good at sticking with. Outdoor furniture is finished. I got that in on Prime Day. Well, I bought it on Prime Day. Start dating. I went on a date in July. That's the last date I went on. I'm going to talk about that more when I get to reviewing September goals. So I guess I started because I went on one in July, but all right. Now we're going to talk about the quarterly assessment. This was a Patreon exclusive video. And as I'm assessing quarter three, I'm going to talk a little bit about each of these areas. So let's first start with relationship. That's a 1. I've given it a 1 because I'm ready to date and I'm putting in the steps to date. It's just not happening. So that's getting a 1 right now. Home is getting a 6 because I'm on track to do everything I want in my home to have a space that I love, but there's still plenty of room to go. My home is not perfect. No home is. It's always going to be a work in progress. Business, I'm giving a 7 because I'm really happy with where things are right now with Plan with Elise, but I also have a lot of ideas about what I want that to look like in the future. So sometimes I'm not giving it a lower rating because I'm not happy about it. I'm keeping in mind how much more room there is for growth. And social, kind of the same. I'm fine with where things are socially, but like when I'm trying to think back to September, I actually don't think anyone has been in my house except for my niece once for the whole month of September, which is fine. Social doesn't just have to be me being at my house. I think I saw 1 or 2 friends in September, um, maybe 3. I'd have to like really look back. September's confusing to me because when I think of the first weekend of September, that was Labor Day, and I was at the pool. And then if like a week later, I was in Austin. So it was just September, I felt like I has been kind of a blur. Financial, I'm comfortable with where things are financially right now, but I feel like I've taken a little bit of a backseat to tracking things accurately. I am sticking within my budget, and I know I am because of the way I'm tracking it, but I'm not going beyond my budget. Um, I have all my paychecks broken down, but to be honest with you, I did not use my budget planner at all in September except for bills and savings tracking, but I did not do any of the expense tracking. I'm kind of in a rut right now when it comes to my budget planner, and that's sort of why I went here. Balance, it's funny. If I filled this out today, I probably would have given it a higher score. Today is September 30th. But I filled this out a week ago because I could kind of see where I was for the month. It's probably good that I filled it out a week ago because right now, in this exact moment, I'm feeling pretty balanced. I'm feeling good. But the fact is, for most of September, I wasn't. So this is really, and probably, if I'm being honest, August also. So this is a good indicator. Sometimes it's good to fill these things out when you're not feeling your best because when I'm feeling great, everything would get a high score. Not relationship, that wouldn't get a high score. Health and wellness is a low number because I'm working out. I did not reach my workout goal. Again, I'll get to that in my September review. I've reached my quarterly workout goal, but I reached that in like July. So I've been doing it. I haven't been prioritizing it. I haven't been enjoying it. So I'm giving it more room for growth here. And personal development for me is kind of about like my mental health, my reading, time for me. And that has a 7 because I'm feeling pretty good there. I could probably give that a higher score. So that's my quarterly 3 assessment. I do have a page for quarter 4 goals. And guess what? I have no idea what my quarter 4 goals are. I was actually talking to Heather Kelva about this the other day, and I was saying to her, I need to film a video and I don't know what my quarterly goals are. And she's like, you're allowed to not know what your goals are leading into a new month. So I purchased a Moxie Life planner for 2024. And then I realized that I want to kind of work in a Moxie Life planner prior to then. So what I did was I ordered an A5 undated quarterly planner. It should be here maybe in about a week or so. So I will do a video working through setting that up. That'll probably be a video mid-October. But I'm hoping that work in there will help me kind of map out my quarterly goals better. So definitely stay tuned for that video. I do plan on sharing my Moxie Life journey. And of course, code Elise, a plan with Elise will give you a discount on your Moxie Life order. All right, let's jump to September and take a look. So a lot of things written down here. I said this is going to be a long video. All right. I don't quite know where to start. Okay, let's talk about these actionable goals, right? So I did first here, my focus this month when it comes to goal setting is to be mindful of how busy the month will be, but also transition to a new season in my home and finish quarter 3 in a way I'm happy about. That's kind of my overall vision, sort of a mission statement for the month, if I think that makes sense. So I did backtrack August QuickBooks. So my goal is to make plans with different friends, friends that I don't see all the time. And here's what's funny about it. I had a plan with my friend. I think it was supposed to be the 21st of September, and we both forgot. It was like 7:30 on a Thursday, and I was like, oh my goodness. And I texted her, and I was like, we were supposed to have plans tonight. She's like, you're right, we were. However, what I also did was made plans for October. I actually did this on the plane ride coming home from Austin. I could feel like the next couple weeks were going to be pretty hard, recovering from a busy first half of September. And I knew that I wasn't going to be able to make plans with friends for the remaining parts of September. So I started to map things out for October. So I actually first reached out to my college roommate, who I haven't seen in probably 2 years because life gets busy. and our schedules don't quite match up. She is off work Sunday and Monday. But we have a plan for tomorrow. We have a plan for Sunday, October 1st, and I'm really excited to see her. So even though, and this is kind of I told that whole story because I wanted to share how you can incorporate this into your goal setting. If this is something you'd like to do, even if you're finding that you don't have the time or the ability, you can still map something out for a future month, which is what we did. I did prep my garage for my car. This was some encouragement from my patrons. This was not something that happened until September 27th, but I got my garage ready and my car is now in my garage. I read 10 books, so I passed my goal of 7 books. I did 12 workouts, not 15. So we're still going to be working towards this. Go on one date. Okay. I'm going to say what's going to sound like a ridiculous statement. I have never in my life tried so hard to go on a date as I did in September. I spent so much time on dating apps. I invested in a dating app. When I was in Austin, I changed my location on the app to New Jersey so that if we were just kind of hanging out on the couch and had some downtime, I was still actively in there. I had 4 dates that were rescheduled, same person, and eventually just canceled in September. So I felt like I did put a lot of time into trying to get to a point to go on a date with someone, a lot of energy and emotional effort, and it's not going to happen. So it didn't happen, but I put in the work. I tracked every day. I really put in the work, and I'm okay with not checking that goal off because I know I did everything in my power to make it happen, and sometimes the stars just aren't aligned. Weekly bank trips really didn't do great with this. This is kind of the same thing that I'm feeling with my budget, just sort of off. Again, I'm not overspending. It's just not as organized as it could be. Weekly office reset I did every week, and I also rearranged my office. And then we've got one more goal here that I just never wrote down, but it's fine because I got a lot done. Mapped out a couple things for next month. And I mean, this we just went over here. My priorities were incorporate balance, prioritize my health, keeping my home organized. Definitely on track with that. My wins, happy that I'm working towards a home office that can sustain release season. Every time I organize my office and I clean it, a new box arrives, which I'm really grateful for. I'm so thankful for the opportunities, but it can also really be hard if I don't have a system in place. So I actually moved most of what was in my office closet into a den closet, which is like 6 stairs down. And I have this massive den closet with built-ins because I don't necessarily need everything in my closet accessible every day. And I think that it makes the most sense to put those all downstairs. And then as new products come in, I have room to put them in my current closet. I also moved my bookshelf from one side of my office to the other. I moved most of my sticker books, probably half of my sticker books, into my closet. And now in front of me, I really just have like basics and new releases. Challenges, lots of migraine days. I probably took on too many projects and a little bit of a lack of motivation in terms of exercise. So that's where we are at for September. Let's set up October. All right, now I'm using, by the way, a Happy Planner monthly layout for this. This is an undated layout. Yeah, this is an undated one. I remember seeing that Happy Planner did not come out with a classic sized layout for 2024. Hopefully something like that comes, but if not, typically December release is the undated release if this is a system you're looking to use. I will say now, this is likely not the system I'm going to be using in 2024 because I purchased the Moxie Life. So I'll kind of put that out there now that I can probably announce my first product in my 2024 lineup will be the Moxie Life Goal Setting Planner. But again, stay tuned to my channel for my Moxie Life Q4 setup because once that arrives, I can't wait to dive into it and share it with you. So make sure you're subscribed if you're not yet subscribed to my channel. Okay, I have Kell of a Plan Fall Florals Volume 3. I really just like using florals in this layout. I think that it works really nicely to just kind of be able to decorate without taking up too much space, and I just think these florals are perfect for fall. So if you have not yet picked up Fall Florals Volume 3, I will have it linked in the description of the video. And if you want to help me reach that 2023 revenue goal, you can go ahead and click that link. Okay. So we have a little floral over there, and then let's bring in maybe one more over here, using the tweezers to peel it up because it will be easier. I actually paused the video between that first part and the second one because sometimes I just like to take a second and kind of make sure I have everything nearby and take a sip of coffee. I realized that that first clip was only 13 minutes, which was shorter than I thought it was going to be. But we'll see how we can get through this one. All right, now I'm going to grab my We Are Memory Keepers punch and just punch out the top right over here. That's pretty. Now we're going to shift over for a second because I already know what I want my 3 trackers to be for the month. So I'm going to put these down. And we're going to switch them up a little bit from last month. I decide on habits that are important to me in terms of achieving certain categories of life, like for the month. So these 3 habits, let's get this down straight, try to get this down straight as best that I can. The first one is going to be, I'm trying to decide, do I want to use this pen or do I want to use my unit, I don't know what it's called, the 0.38, although it seems to not be in front of me anymore. It was in front of me because I was using it this morning, but it seems to have disappeared. I gotta find it. All right, I think I called it a Unipin. It's a Uniball 1.38. And I like this. This has been one of my favorite pens lately. My favorite new pen. All right, so tracking my habits. We are jumping back to dating app. This is a lot thinner, because I'm not giving up on this goal. I'm not giving up on this goal, but I'm also doing everything in my power to build a life that I love without having a partner. I've been talking about this a lot. I've been thinking about it a lot. I had this conversation with one of my patrons recently on a one-on-one call that my life has never been defined by having a partner. Not that there's, I feel like that came out wrong. I'm thrilled for those who have found someone that they love and someone to spend their life with. I've never really found that. I had it for a short period of time. And as a result, it's always been up to me to build my life by myself without having someone to do it with. So I'm continuing to do that and not waiting for someone. I think a huge case in point is buying a house. So I'm going to continue building a life that I love and hope that I can find someone to share it with. And if not, that's okay too, because if that doesn't happen, I still have this life that I love. So dating app is one of them. One of my goals in terms of my home. Okay, so I'm going to just do like a little less than 1 minute. I saw something on Instagram recently that said that if it takes under a minute, just do it. And for the last week, I've been living with that mentality. Oh, I see my remote on the couch with a balled up blanket instead of a folded blanket. It's going to take under a minute to do that. I feel like my camera is shaking. It's going to take under a minute to do that. Just do it. Just put it back where it belongs. And I've really just been living with this, put it back where it belongs, wash the coffee cup, do the thing all week. And it's made such an impact on my life, like a huge impact. So we're calling it less than 1 minute. And then the next one is going to be breakfast. I want to get back into the habit of having breakfast each day. I've been making like a chia seed pudding with some fruit and granola and yogurt, and it's been really good. And so that's part of my health and wellness goal. I'm not putting exercise in here because my goal is not to exercise every day, but I will map out an exercise goal over here. Okay, now I want to do something similar on the top of left side of the page as I did in September, where I set sort of an intention, a mission statement for the month when it came to goals. I feel like that was a really helpful exercise for me. So we need to figure out size-wise here how this is going to fit. Maybe we'll put this over here. I'm going to shift it. Sorry, I keep spinning the page. I'm trying to kind of think ahead about what I want this part to look like. I'm going to shift this a little bit more this way because I'd also like to bring in, I think, a full box sticker if I have room for both. I don't know that I'm necessarily going to have room for both, but that was why I tried to shift it over. So I thought that maybe we could do like a mission statement here, but also kind of a motivation. I know that this left side has a quote and there's a little bit of space for a motivation there, but just something else, or maybe like a reminder for myself. Okay, now that we have that, I don't love how this looks. If it's gonna rip, it is gonna rip. It's gonna rip this one. I finished my undo. I think I probably have another bottle somewhere, but I don't know where it is. What can I do here? I don't want to cover up so much of this. I'm going to pause on this and not just put it down yet for the sake of putting it down. So let's map out some categories. I want to do social, home, personal development, health, relationship, and work. We're going to do 6 categories. I'm not going to do one for finance yet because I don't know that I'm ready yet to map out anything concrete or specific. So we're just going to do 6, and that's a number that I'm comfortable with. I also have the space here for 6. So let's see. Let's go from the bottom because then I can kind of size it. And then we need 3 more of these boxes. So actually, as I'm looking at these 3 have flowers in them, but I did pull out Bright Basics because I felt like Bright Basics had similar colors. They're not the exact same, but flowers also aren't the exact same. So I'm not that picky about it. And now let's look for the teal. This is a little bit brighter of a teal. Let's see. This one's a little bit better. Yeah, that's better. Look at that here. And then looking for a purple. There we go. Again, not the exact same color. I'm fine with it. Because I'll also use these stickers on the left-hand side. Okay. Now I was trying to figure out exactly how I wanted to label these because I put a lot of florals up here, so I don't have as much space. So let's see. I feel like it wouldn't make sense to use the same color. Like this might make sense, but this won't really work. That'll make it really obvious. So I think we're going to just use different color headings here and not make everything so matchy-matchy. Just like this. And I know that you can see beneath it, but when I write on it, you won't be able to tell as much. I feel like this will just make the most sense for these. That's pretty. And then I want the orange. Let's do the teal and maybe one more yellow. Oh wait, but then if I put yellow here, you're gonna see both the yellow. Wait, I made a mistake. Hold on. Okay, let's do the teal here. The orange here. and the yellow here. That'll work. Okay, so we're going to get these labeled. So we're doing social, home, personal development, health, relationship, did I say balance last month? Oh, I said work. That was it. Work. Because I was going to skip finances for the month. I'm not skipping finances. I've set my budget. I've created a budget. I've mapped it all out for October. But I don't have an October budget video at this time. All right, let's choose the goals. So again, like I did in September, we're going to write different, friend, plans. Now, if you missed my September video, the reason I was looking into different friend plans, nothing against the friends that I see regularly. I love them and I'm so grateful to have them in my life. But I felt like I was getting comfortable only seeing certain people. And so I really wanted to make an effort to connect with people who I have a previous relationship with, like my college roommate, this friend who we both forgot that we had plans, another childhood friend that I also reached out to on the plane from Austin. We just haven't quite figured out a day yet that works. So, home, we are going to do finish office because I'm not quite finished with my new system. And then let's do cleaning schedule, just sticking with a cleaning schedule to keep everything organized. I spend so much time here. I spend most of my time here. I work from home, both jobs. And so it's really important to me to have a home that I love. This is like you'll often see this as physical environment instead of home in goal setting planners. So it's really a huge priority to me. Okay, reading. So if my math is right, I have 21 books left to read to reach my 100 book goal for the year. So we're going to go back to read. Seven books, which I think I should be able to do. I also really don't have any plans in October. I feel like that sounds weird. I just don't really. I mean, I have a plan with a friend on the 1st. My mom's birthday is the 29th. I will also be going to Chicago the following week, the first weekend of November, for the Chicago Planner Conference. And other than my niece and nephew's sports, I don't have a ton of commitments or anything that's going to prevent me from reaching goals like I would in September because I was away for a few days in September. Or what would be another example? Like when I set November goals, I know that it's going to be really busy with Cyber Week and Thanksgiving and all of that kind of stuff. So I don't have as much time to achieve the goals. But as I'm looking at October, I really have the whole month. And I've done a lot of the preparation for Chicago Planner Conference already. So it's not going to take a ton of my time in October the way that it might otherwise. Health, we're going to do weekly meal prep. And I'm going to set a goal again of 15 workouts. Relationship, go on one date. We're just keep going. And then for work, so the September work goal that I ended up adding in was set up 2024 strategy session, which I did. I had a 2024 strategy session. So I'm going to write map out Q4 and prep for 2024, not 2024. Okay. I like that. All right. This gives me some actionable things to now shift over to this section. So let's get these bullets down, and I'm just going to do them not all the same color, and we're going to kind of get these down here and list out some goals. I don't know if I'm going to fill them all, but again, I'm going to leave room. You know, there's, I think, a pressure that content creators put on ourselves to have everything perfectly planned out in our brain before putting it down in our planner to share online. And I think that the best thing I can do for myself is give myself room for things that might change and things that might come up, because who knows what life is going to bring. So my goal here as a creator and sharing my life with you and the way I'm planning my life is to be real and not fake goals. I'm not saying that anyone fakes them, but I could just write down all these things, but they have to be genuine to me or they're not going to happen and I'm not going to find value in them. All right. So the actionable goals that we are checking off. Are we still centered? Let's go over here. Okay. Different friend plans. I kind of don't want to write finish office. It's so vague. So I'm just turning my head if the sound changed. I'm looking around my office and figuring out exactly what needs to happen. I'm going to write cube storage because that's the next area that needs to be organized and maybe moved, possibly moved. My goal is kind of to have less furniture in my office itself because it feels like it's closing in on me. Okay, so we're going to write cube storage and Hudson cart. These are two things that I need to work on. All right, let's do weekly cleaning schedule. Read 7 books. Exercise 15 times. Weekly meal prep. As I'm writing these, I'm realizing I am going to finish all the bullets. That's okay. Go on one date. Map out Q for content. Wait a second. I feel like I thought when I was writing this down that prep for 2024 meant quarterly, not October. So I'm going to leave it here, but I'm not going to write it here. We're just going to map out Q4 in October, but I don't know that in October I'm going to prep for 2024. That feels like it makes more sense to me. And then we're going to leave one because I like to leave one. Now let's cover up note to self. Oh, wait a second. You know what I didn't do? This is so silly. I didn't look at my next month from September of things that I wanted to do during the month. So I'm going to write no spend Amazon. So there's a financial goal. I'm finding myself spending a lot on Amazon. Again, not out of budget, but it doesn't mean I want to spend that much on Amazon. So typically this is where I map out next month, but I think we're going to add a couple of bonus goals, because why not? Because I forgot to look at things that I said I wanted to do, which is common for me. So I even pulled the sheets out so that I could look at them, and I just didn't. So we're going to put this over here. And put this here. Oh wait, I don't want to use purple because I have purple right there. Let's use orange. Okay. Bonus goals. And then we're gonna put some other ones. So one of the things I really want to do is get a library card. And what else did I write down? I wrote down unpack den closet because I still have things in there that I haven't unpacked. And the problem with that is as I'm trying to put things in there from my office, I'm navigating around boxes. So we're going to write this down. So now I guess I've set more goals. Oops. That looks like guard, not card, even though that guard would be spelled wrong if I did it that way. But we'll just use my little white pen. And now it looks like card again. Okay. Unpack. Den. Closet. Now I lost my space for next month. So we're gonna get that back together. I also still need to figure out this section. It's kind of bugging me, but I think what I'm just gonna do is put a floral over there because why not? Florals tend to make everything look better, in my opinion. So I'm just gonna slice this here and put this down. I can't reach that far. I need this to come closer to me. There we go. That's better. Okay. Now over here, last month I did wins and challenges. I think that this month we're going to do next month, literally, like next month's goals. So all I have left is orange. I didn't want purple right there because I already had purple right above it. So we're going to do orange, put this back down, and write down next month. And then I think we can probably bring in another floral here because that's going to be a lot to list out for next month. So I kind of want to just bring in this strip, but I don't think we're going to. So let's use this. This is a pretty one. And maybe even one more just to fill in some of that space so I don't feel like having all this blank space means that I have to set goals. I have to finish my mapping out of November goals. This way I just give myself a little bit less space. And I think that's one of the reasons that using bigger stickers, especially florals in a planner, is so appealing to me because it covers up the empty space that I don't always need. Okay, let's do priorities. And then we are probably finished. So I think I want to use different colors again for priorities. I just like adding the little bullets. Obviously, this is not, you know, a required step. None of this is required, but I think it looks pretty when I put them here. And let's use the yellow too. Okay, so priorities. Focus on my health. Take time to rest. Be more intentional with work. Okay, so prime example of me being more intentional with work and what this might look like for me. Typically, Knit Plan Jess and I share our, I don't know how all of a sudden I have two of this pen in front of me. That's so weird. Okay. Typically, Knit Plan Jess and I share a monthly goal or monthly reading recap on the first Tuesday of the month. This time, there's another product, the Castatic Plans Autumn Days release that I have a video prepared for that day. Now, at first I was like, oh, I'll just put up both videos like a few hours apart or whatever. But then I said to Jess, would you be able to shift to next week instead for the reading journal? And she's like, yeah, absolutely. So now that gives me one more video in a future slot versus trying to get both done. And then I would need to fill the slot. So I keep finding myself saying yes to too much. And this is just going to help me be more intentional with my decisions that I make when it comes to work. And part of that is also kind of prepping for 2024. If there's something you want to do and you're like, oh, I'll do that in the new year, start now. Start now, practicing it. It takes a while to build a habit and change our habits. And so I'm always a fan of don't start tomorrow, just start today, because you're never going to be sad or upset that you did. So I think that this very chatty quarterly, monthly video has finished. A couple of reminders. I'll link Hell of a Plan in the description of this video. It really does help me a lot. Like, you have no idea when you use my affiliate link. So thank you for using it. Even if you're just browsing the site, cookies last 7 days. So if you go ahead and click my link, even if you may not purchase until tomorrow, that still helps, because as long as it's been within 7 days and you haven't clicked another affiliate link, I still should get the credit if I've influenced you to purchase. And stay tuned for the Moxie Life quarter setup video. There may be a little bit of repetition from this one to that one, but I didn't want to wait for the product to arrive to set these goals up, because I still plan on using this for October. So I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for hanging out with me. Let me know your thoughts, and I will see you next time.